This is the Rastafari Samurai, never leaving you dry in your IHOP. This message nationwide scene, down to earth podcast with my brother, the Shawn Myrie. We have a special guest and a vet of Toronto hip hop himself, a pioneer, and that's the one and only Infinite.
Yeah, much respect. We got a legend in the building, not a average artist. I must say, much respect for coming through. Infinite.
Yo, I mean, thank you for having me, man. Down to Earth podcast. You know what it is. It's
Infinite. Man, this is something big because it's not just a normal interview. I'm actually a supporter, a fan, if you want to call it that.
Honor.
It's an honor.
It's an honor, man.
Carpet, like this is something like if people are excited about like an artist who they grew up listening to. That's us. We listen to Infinite, Ghetto Concept growing up. You know, like I know that you have a big resume and you had your own label.
Put it this way. When Buckshot said, commercial rap supposed to get the gun clap, he might one of the ones them who were cocking the gun. You know what I'm saying?
But I see, you know what it is? When you came out, right? You illustrated basically with Ghetto Concept the street life, I think the best for people outside of like Toronto or the world to know that like, there's the good and there's the bad too, but the struggle and everything. That's what I heard in the music, what you produced and came out with, even with Ghetto Concept, right? Like you could tell the people out there a little bit about yourself, the ones who may not know, but there's many that know.
Yeah,
legend.
For sure. I started out in Ghetto Concept and we won 2 Junos back-to-back years. Basically starting out as a group, learning to work with a group, and then I went solo and did my own solo thing as Infinite. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, making music for people that love music, and we don't follow trend, we set trends. So when we do music, we actually want it to be content. We don't just rap to make it sound whatever. It can't just be whatever. It has to be lyrical content. I'm more of a lyrical person.
I know that.
I'm all about skills.
Yeah.
All these lists you see out there.
Yeah.
It's about popularity.
It's true. It's
not
true.
about skills.
It's true. It's true. It's popularity. You know what? I'm probably guilty of it because when I seen people doing the list, I made a list. And the funny thing, I have to admit, wait, I left out Infinite. How could I leave out Infinite? But I said Ghetto Concept, so that saved me. Okay. That saved me, right?
Okay.
Because when you came out, right, as a solo artist, it was like, I don't know, like if people realized it that you broke off, but I realized it because those hits. You get what I mean? You had some hits. What was in America? It was like on BET and stuff like that, right? Right, Rock? We're hearing it.
It's true.
It was playing all the time on BET.
No doubt. Big facts.
So before even, I don't know about the timeline, but I think I'm right. Before Cardi was starting to go bust with, what's his name again? You know who I'm talking. With Akon. You were already on the BET.
Oh, yeah. But we was from late 90s. We was, when I came out of Ghetto Concept. That's when like Take a Look and Gotta Get Mine was getting all that play, and Take a Look was featured on BET.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember it was playing. It was playing, but I think even other stations was playing the music too.
Yeah. Oh, the commercial stations over here, and the underground stations, the college, university, they were playing it. They were playing
even in America.
Yo, put it this way, man. He made underground commercial.
Yeah,
so that's when you do that, you're done.
So in the going back to the list, when we're talking about like even the these new fellas, I consider them new fellas. Much respect to them, like Drake and these others. Toronto was a place where you had to be lyrical. At one point, you had to be you couldn't just you'd be scared to come out saying you're a hip hop artist and you didn't have no skills. That's where you come from. That time, right?
Very disciplined era.
So I'm gonna ask you what you think about like the recent era of what's going
right
on.
now there's a lot of people getting away with the foolishness, but you still have a handful of those that are following with the skills.
Yes.
That you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna really get
Toronto
into
always will have that, I believe, because from a long time people had to like fight to get into the industry. Yeah. You already know how it is. Yeah. So how's your experience actually getting to go crossover to America?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. It's not even only about America. It's all even about the groundwork.
Yeah.
Because now you have the internet and Spotify and all these platforms where you could stream and distribute your music. Back then it wasn't like that. It was more the groundwork and physical copies, and you had to show up.
Promote.
We didn't have Instagram back then. You had to show your face in person.
I have to ask you this question then. So you're pretty much saying, don't get me wrong, you know, the internet's helping, but these artists them have it a little more easier compared to back in the day.
Oh, for sure. For sure, the internet is even easier for us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people always ask that question: digital or analog?
Yeah.
I like analog, but I prefer digital because a lot of things could go wrong with analog. If you remember back in the days with the VHS tapes, them if you wrinkle up that tape, you can't fix that. You know.
You know what? No. That's a subject I was going to talk about, but I feel it's going to come back.
Yeah.
The analog.
Yeah.
It's how they're coming with it. You're gonna come with it though.
So the thing is, you could, with the way things are set up now, even DJs, they don't have to bring crates. Just bring a hard drive.
Yes.
They don't have to bring. You know what I'm saying? So the way technology is now, it's much easier for all of us.
Digital, yeah.
But I'm just saying that you had to do the groundwork. There was no choice. You had to get out there. You had to be outside back then. So that's why we're so disciplined. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. But now, like with this 50 years, what they call 50 years of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And Toronto itself, right? I don't know how long we've been really celebrating hip hop, even though we're saying 50 years of hip hop. Yeah. Like your knowledge, how long was Toronto hip hop really getting recognized?
Recognized? I remember CKLN when I was a youth. You know what I'm saying? With Ron Nelson. And then he brought on DJX. And then it just kept elevating. And then even Ron Nelson dropped a track back then. You know what I mean? Shout out Ron Nelson.
Bless up.
Myrie dropped a track. Myrie dropped something. Maestro, Rumbling Strong, Devin. There's a whole bunch of rappers from back in the days. HDV. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of rappers back in the days that I remember that we used to watch. And then came our era. You know what I'm saying? That was the foundation before us, and then we helped lay the foundation for these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's blessings. It's a blessing.
It's true, because when you came out, what year was it, 93?
We dropped Easy on the Motion in 94.
94, okay, all right. I was close. That's close.
Yeah.
So 94, you guys, you dropped, and after then 98 or 99, you went solo.
I went solo. My first single was dropped in 97.
97. Okay, so
gotta get mine.
That's still some time. You guys were already doing it, like everybody, to me, like the whole Etobicoke, right?
Yeah.
That's where we seen more Rexdale, the West End, getting more, like, if you want to get it to the commercial play, because the East End always had everybody from the East End coming out.
So we were getting more established and recognized, because Rap City was an outlet across the whole country. You know, the nation's music station, MuchMusic, right?
Yeah.
So from Ghetto Concept to Diamond X to everybody that was doing it around that time was getting that push on MuchMusic, on Rap City.
Yeah, I remember that.
So shout out to the whole of Rexdale, you know?
It's funny that you talk about this Rap City. And I don't know if people want to say it's controversial, but this is down to earth. You're going to get to know me now.
Yeah.
So I feel that Toronto urban music and the media, because we're into the media too, actually went backwards, because we actually had Rap City, right? I know there is cable, right? And we had MuchMusic, what was highlighting the artists even more to a respect that Americans would see us and the world would see us.
Right.
But now they have everything's online, like we're saying, digital. Do you feel that? And you remember Master T too,
for
how
sure.
he used to spotlight the artists.
Extend the mix,
Do you feel
yeah.
that the media, what we have right now, which is so easy, is still doing a good job like what we had before?
I honestly, I miss the whole Much Music, Rap City vibe, Extend the Mix vibe. Like TV just got kind of drained out when it came to music videos back
Yes.
then. Everybody tuned in at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever time it was, and we got to see all the authentic hip hop at that time. Like
Yeah.
if you go to New York right now and you tell people that you know certain things from the 80s, from like the late 80s when Rap City started, they'd be surprised that we know the same thing
Yeah, it's true.
as
It's
them.
facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Rap City did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Rap City because they had us up to par
Yes.
with what was going on at the time. So I feel like we need that back.
See, I've been hearing that. You see what you're saying? A couple of my brethren and other people been saying similar things.
Yeah. We need that back. We need that.
Yo, if you out there, down to earth, yo, put us on. We could give you that, man. Big studio and everything.
Yeah. Straight.
Yeah, this is the media. We need more infrastructure.
Right.
That's the whole key, because you came up when people are fighting to be, I want you gotta leave here, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel it's the same? What's going on? Like what artists need to do now, even though we have all this technology.
I feel like it's, like I said, it's a much different generation right now. Different people in position of power, so it kind of switches up the narrative. You can't let nobody else write your story, so you gotta make sure you defend your legacy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I don't know who's to blame, but the OGs, if you call it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. I said this before in a pod, and I'm going to say it again, right? The OGs, even though the struggle is more successful than most of these new artists who are trying to come from Toronto. I'm not talking about Drake or Tory Lanez. I'm talking compared to back then. I could count 10 to maybe 12 artists who got videos, they got on American stations or from Toronto.
Right.
Compared to now, there's only, no one really knows. Besides, I'm not counting Drake, like I said, and those ones, right?
Yeah, there's only a few, and there's also a few OGs that are in position that they could do a little better.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking about.
They could do a little better. I don't know why. Y'all could do a little better still, you know. But I'm not gonna call no names.
No, I already know what you're talking about. I know you could do better.
Yeah, you could do better.
Yeah, the whole thing is that I've been seeing that, and I've been putting that in the pod for a long time. And what it is now is it's an old habit, right? Is Toronto's the screw face? Like I'm gonna say, where did the screw face come from? Because I know since you've been illustrating in your music the art of street life in Toronto too.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? The screw face.
Yo, the screw face. Every time artists from the States forward to Toronto, I guess they must have thought up here was on a different. They probably thought it was
soft,
like Antarctica or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're surprised when they reach up here, and because of that, it's their approach. I remember Keith Myrie when he
I heard this story. Here, I think.
Go on.
And a man from Rex must have asked him.
Go on.
He's walking through the crowd. A man from Rex asked him, "Yo, when you going on stage?" Keith Murray's response was, "Yo, you know, he got up on some different vibe." And I'm not gonna say no names, but my boy just went bam, like gave him one.
And you know what?
Everybody rushed him.
I'm just
I heard this story.
I don't blame you because that same year when they came down, all right, I had my story. Yo, I was downtown. Like it was yesterday.
I remember you still upset,
right? You know, you're a fan of Keith Myrie, you know, and all that. You go, yo, what up, and all that, and everything. You know, the tickets are all sold out and all that. Yo, brother, you can hook up somebody and all that. He looks at us one time like this. You don't got tickets? go man.
That's how you, yeah.
That's how they said it. I went, yo, you know, sorry to say it, but I'm glad what happened.
But yo,
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
That made me my satisfaction for how many years?
other than
broke his
that,
arm, and they rushed him. And I remember Mobb Deep had a show.
Beastie.
Mobb Deep had a show a couple weeks after that, and they said on the radio, "Yo, we heard what happened with Keith Myrie. You know, being on that like they heard they're hearing what's going on." So
yeah,
that's why I think everybody's up here so scrupulous when these American artists forward in the place, because
Could I ask you one question?
You know?
Do you think these Americans think that we're soft and think we're punk and all them thing that because of that's why they go on with the ignorance?
I think they think that across the border is softer than we are. You know what I mean? Because there's real people everywhere.
but you know what? You're right. No. The OGs, some ones who have visited here, they know. I haven't heard them.
There's a few people that
But
know.
it's just sorry to say what's like what they see promoted from Toronto is where they're seeing maybe it's up. No. Everywhere, like what you're saying, has something.
Yes.
You know what it is?
No matter where you go.
You know what it is? Because they think it's the North. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to say
yeah.
what it is. The ignorance. They think that we live in igloos.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
They think that black people don't live in Canada. Okay? Because I went down in the South, and that's what those Southerners think of the Northerners up here.
Well,
I'm
No,
just
for
being
sure.
straight.
that's
true,
that's
for true.
their view, but we know the real. You know.
Because when I'm in New York, back then when I used to go to New York, my boys them and people that I was meeting out there, like their people, they were like, "You're from Toronto? You're from Canada?" And even people from Philly that I met, they're like, "You're from." They got people like you, like you know. I don't know what they're expecting. I don't know what they're expecting, bro.
I know what they were expecting. If you remember SCTV back
Yeah. That's what they expected. But yo, I want to get on to like certain things like what you've been doing in the last recent years, like elevating yourself as an artist. Like I'm hearing about the Street Fighter stuff, like from a long time, you know, for a while, right? And this is something good,
Right.
very good for the culture, because it shows younger artists too that they could excel and they could evolve in their music. It doesn't just have to be streamings on all these digital platforms. It could be in movies. It could be in video games. It could be in wherever. You know what I mean?
Ads.
Like, and just tell the people about that accomplishment, because that is an accomplishment.
So basically, I'm the voice of Street Fighter 3, the Third Strike. You know what I'm saying?
That's big.
And I did 3 tracks for the video game when Japan representatives from Capcom came to Toronto to find you know, everybody did the audition, all the major artists at the time, and they picked me as their guy.
That's big.
Yeah, so we wrote the tracks. I wrote the tracks and recorded them within one day.
But you're one of the, you're that type of artist anyways. I like maybe other people you might be surprised, but me, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Especially if you're an MC yourself. 3 tracks and the inspiration of doing something like that, because we all grew up playing Street Fighter from the arcades.
Since we talk about the past, like what was the what inspired you to start music?
My oldest brother Cain, he was basically, shout out Cain, man.
Bless up.
He's the reason, one of the main reasons why I know as much as I know when it comes to hip hop. I was the little youth that was around when the bigger guys then were listening to all this hip hop. And I seen the culture, how the culture was, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I know about all these things that certain people my age won't know about. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with me.
Yeah.
He's my older
You see what
brother.
I'm saying?
And I have another older brother.
Okay. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So my inspiration starting out rapping is my brother Cain. Yeah.
So when you start out rapping, right, that was your art. What? How did that help you as a youth, like doing the rapping?
As a youth, it was just, something fun to do. You know what I mean? We used to go to school. We used to look forward to rapping and battling each other. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where you kind of connect with the street fighting type of
That's
thing.
how the whole, but at the same time, while we're rapping,
Yeah.
we're growing up in Rexdale.
Yeah.
And we're seeing and we're experiencing everything that's going on around us in the West End. You know what I'm saying? So, we're applying it as we get older. We're applying it to our little raps.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to high school. So a lot of people don't know. I was rapping like at age probably 12 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when I started writing.
But like I'm gonna bring it back, right? Before my brother came in with that, because he's slick with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna bring it back to the video game Street Fighter, because we all played that in the arcade, right?
Yeah.
In the you back in the days you had your quarters if you could afford it to play the game,
Yeah.
right? So what made you want to do that addition?
Just because you brought up the quarters, my favorite moments as a kid was when we came back from Jamaica, or our family came back from Jamaica, and taking the 10 cents
Yeah.
and using that as quarters.
Yo, I know,
Putting that in the machine.
Yeah.
Here, 10 cents in
Yeah.
the machine, and
Yeah.
that's the size of a quarter, and
Yeah,
they're
so-
working.
and they're
so
working.
You're playing games all day with Jamaica 10 cents, and I know y'all can remember that. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
But yeah, like just the fact that playing Street Fighter as a kid, it was exciting.
Yeah.
Going over your friend's house, because I never had Street
Me
Fighter.
too,
in my
me
house.
too.
I had to go to my friend's house to
Yeah.
play that shit. You know what I'm saying? We
Or the
never had
store,
that.
the convenience store to play.
We never had Street Fighter. I had to go to my boy's house and play that. But it was exciting, or the arcade, like
Yeah.
you said. You know what I mean? So as I got older and becoming a man, and actually being involved in Street Fighter was a dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a dream.
Because that's what my favorite game. That's all. Like I see all these high tech games, but that's like, sorry to say, basic game fighting.
Yes,
but
yes.
it's good. It's
Yeah.
good with the art and the ideas of the different nationalities and different locations,
Yeah.
and now adding the music, because you remember hearing the video game music back in the day,
It was
but
just like-
adding good.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to say, but hip hop.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the perfect fusion, because that's what they've been using for all these last 20 years, for video games. So just being in the game and the voice for it. Yo, people got to cop that. That's like a special edition.
So now that you brought that up, I want to shout out my boy Fahrenheit from New Orleans. Me and
What's
him
up?
worked on a Street Fighter tribute album that dropped not too long ago.
Yeah?
Y'all gonna hear some tracks from it. Yeah.
That's going to
So,
be big.
I mean, it's actually on Spotify right now.
I'm gonna check
Apple
that out.
Music.
Check that
You know what I'm
out.
saying? Shout out Fahrenheit, yo. No doubt.
Check that out. So, you ever think of doing some you have done collaborations with I know female artists and probably international artists. Which artists would you want to work with now? Like new era, what we consider it. If you could, it could be from anywhere. Doesn't have to be from Toronto. It could be anywhere.
I like thinking outside the
Box.
the block. You know what I'm
The
saying?
block.
Yeah, I like that one.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it's hip hop or R&B or even Spanish,
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love my dancehall. I love my R&B. So there's a few people that I would work with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who to say first. I don't know who to. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
feel this to me like I'm be straight up down to earth. How I am, no filter. I feel how I'm just I'm gonna predict this. This is a resurrection of Infinite this
Right.
time. I just feel that's why I was saying I'm seeing all these artists, right? Bless up to them, right? Getting praised, but I don't hear Infinite too much. But you were at OVO,
Yeah. No doubt.
so that's big.
No doubt.
So you know somebody,
Yeah.
the big dog.
Yeah.
I have to recognize.
Yes. No doubt. So OVO, Drake and OVO reached out to everybody that influenced Drake's career. And
It's
I
big.
was blessed to be one of them. and we got to perform and showcase what it was. You know what I'm saying? I performed what they wanted to. They asked me to perform Gotta Get Mine and Take a Look. So I gave them what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Drake and the whole OVO.
That's big. That's
you know what I'm
big.
saying?
Bless up. That's huge. And recently, you're celebrated, I see. Right?
Yes.
And at the Legacy Awards, right?
Right.
See? I didn't have to even look and read it.
Yeah.
Just memory.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. I saw some OGs with you.
Okay.
Right.
So the Legacy Awards, they honored us as in Ghetto Concept. They honored Ghetto Concept, you know, for the 50 years of hip hop, you know, as one. Ghetto Concept and Infinite. You know, so shout out to them for that. You know what I mean? They you know, I see them honoring a few guys throughout the
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out. They honored us, and I was there to attend, and I got to see, you know, everybody else that was honored, you know, and the new generation coming up.
That's
You know what I
good.
mean?
We need more awards. Do you feel, which I'm going to put it out there, you know, and we just don't talk it down to earth. Do you feel Toronto really needs its own hip hop award?
Yeah, I think so. I think
It's
that would be
overdue.
good. I think we need more awards.
More awards.
The Legacy Awards is a good start.
See, Legacy Awards bless up.
Yeah,
But
they have
like,
a few more awards, but I guess they will when it's time for them to come to level for everybody to see and can get to that level. You know what I mean? Where it starts getting televised, so everybody knows they exist. Shout out to them too for making a step in that too. So
we need more
there's a few
awards.
more. Yeah.
More infrastructure will be built with that, and more respect from sponsors and, you know, investors.
No doubt.
They honored you and Ghetto Concept, like even Ghetto Concept themselves, right? The other two brothers, right?
Yeah.
They have been going the same time when you were going. They're doing their thing. So, and I seen you had your own label. And they had their own label too.
Yes.
How was that influence for your community over there? Seeing like this whole, you like it or not, there's something there.
Yes. Okay, so the influence, I like the influence that we had on other people that look like us, because we're used to seeing guys in hip hop that not necessarily looked like us, like you know, from the block. You know what I mean? We made the block feel like they could do it too. So I feel like that's why there's so much rappers right now that are doing it, that are from the block. Because it's like when Obama was president, you know what I'm saying? He made it feel like, he made you realize that you could be a black man and be running the country. Because we're used to seeing white presidents, right?
Yeah.
So.
And the stigma was, I want to be president. Maybe you should think of something else.
Something else, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yes, and that wasn't right. So, you know, that was a good feeling when we seen Obama in office, you know what I'm saying? First black president. So using that as an example is what I'm saying is when we won the first Juno, it made everybody from the streets, the blocks, realize that they can do it too. They don't have to stay in the streets.
Yeah.
They could actually work on music and become something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Okay, I know the East End has like a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But for the West End, straight up, I would have said Ghetto Concept, Infinite, and respect to Frankie Payne from the from the West End, like street. I'm talking about the street hip hop. And then I'm not gonna leave out. They're on a platform the other day. Bless up to Smugglers.
Okay, yeah, Smugglers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after then, if I'm going downtown, because I'm giving you my hip hop knowledge, right? Point blank. Right? Citizen Cain. Because this is 50 years of hip hop. We have to talk about Toronto hip hop too. Like, before everything, what you see now, right? And I know I'm leaving out a couple other brothers.
Orb. Like I said, Diamond next.
Keep going. Mathematic.
Era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that before that too, Kish.
Yeah.
Right?
Big shout out to Kish, man. All of them.
Okay, I don't know if Frankenstein is from P.O. Eternia. All of them.
Tyra Chase.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, Miss
I don't
you
think
already
people
know.
really know. Like,
Yeah.
they know, but I don't think even the young ones know.
Solitaire, Marvel.
So it's up to us, I was saying, for the what they want to say, old heads, is to educate. I feel that's what we do at Down to Earth D2E. We're trying, it's an edutainment.
Right.
So not just entertaining you, giving people the knowledge, for example, to know who you are, like Infinite.
Right.
So that name, Infinite, where did you get that name from? Where?
I got that name from one of my boys in New York. He's like a big bro, you know. He's from Brownsville.
Oh, respect
Yeah.
to Brownsville.
Shout out Brownsville.
Home of the Bucktown, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
USA.
Yeah, if you know, right? So shout out Shabar, Daddy Rose, man. He gave me that name. So, it was Prince Infinite when he gave it to me, when he gave me that name. I couldn't get used to the Prince. I adapted
That's
to
what I
Infinite.
mean, yeah,
you know what I'm
Infinite.
saying? So, and that's how Infinite became.
Yeah. So what else do you have coming? I see, like, you had a label, right? You still have the label,
Well,
production?
my brother's the CEO of Lockdown.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? It's SOG. Now, we have artists. I'm developing artists along the way, and we actually have a R&B artist right now that y'all about to see make some noise out here.
I believe
know what I
you.
mean?
You know,
Yeah.
you know why I believe you? Because
Yeah.
you're educated already in the game, right?
Okay,
And
yes.
you want me just to get real down to earth?
Yeah.
You've been watching the scene, and you've been doing your thing. You know what they say, behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
it's in the scenes now. But
Right.
you know the biz. So having more individuals like you share with other artists, this is how you build infrastructure.
Exactly.
So the energy you're putting into those artists is gonna show through your knowledge through them, compared to an artist who doesn't have that.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because this artist could say, "Yo, who's your executive producer? Infinite. You know who Infinite is? He already done something already." Compared to, like, respect to somebody who's trying, but it's compared, you already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good.
No doubt,
I
man.
can't
Shout
wait
out
to hear this.
Shout out to O, and he's a very talented artist, and yeah, I just want to bring new music to everybody. I want to bring some new music to the industry.
That's good. That's good. We need that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could see some more OGs saying they're gonna be doing something like that.
yeah.
It's not that was my other, if you want to say, beef. It's not too much. I know people have their their life, but OGs, besides, like, I see what Cardi's doing, have to do more like that.
Yeah.
If you want to stay in the business, or you retire, if you
You hang up or you just keep going. That's what I'm saying. Infinite, there's no ending. You know what I mean? So you never know what you're gonna get. Yeah,
yeah.
you already know.
So I'm gonna ask you some of your influences. What's some of the top 6 MCs for you of all time? I want to know this.
Okay. I would say my top 6 rappers or ever.
Let's put ever. Any artist. Yeah,
Artists.
Okay.
Does it have to be rap?
Bob Marley.
that's good.
Yes.
You know what? I would say Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah,
I'd say Ice Cube.
that's good.
I would also say, I mean, they made my boy look weird, Michael Jackson.
Still,
But I don't, you know what I'm saying? But Michael Jackson definitely,
yeah,
inspired us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
no one can't lie about
Yeah.
that.
A businessman.
Yeah, they try to tell lies on him,
yeah.
whatever.
A pure dancer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
It's
whole
top.
shebang, the
Yeah.
whole package.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
He influenced everybody.
Nas.
Nas, okay, that's a good selection. That's a good one. People will listen to that over again.
Yeah.
Bob Marley was the first, and Nas was the last.
Yeah.
So you know that's a fusion already, because the Sun's already working with
They already
Nas,
did an
right?
album together. I'd love to see them do another album together, man. I'd love to see that.
I mean, I could go on, Pac.
Yeah.
You know, Pac's work ethic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like how Jay's business sense is.
Yeah.
I like how, you know what I mean? There's so much that inspire us. And I'm proud of where, black excellence has come. You know what I'm saying?
So talking about that, well, how you feel Toronto hip hop has come?
It's at a bigger level than it was. Like, I mean, like I said, even though we laid the foundation, we actually let Drake
Yeah,
kick the door open.
yeah, kick the door open.
See? So
Wide open.
yeah, so I mean, we have the biggest artist in the world from Toronto,
Yeah,
and this album just dropped today. Actually, he has a new album that dropped
Yeah.
today.
but do you think people are taking advantage of it from Toronto?
People from Toronto,
Are you do they? Yeah, because he kicked open the door, right?
yeah,
And we see a couple of them who have made it, but it's not enough compared to other markets.
yeah.
So, do you think people are really taking advantage of him kicking down the door?
I think some people are taking advantage, and some people are trying to find a way to get in. If that makes any
I see.
sense.
It makes
If that
sense. Wait,
makes
I know what
sense.
you mean.
Yeah, but I mean, respect to him for not trying to hold everything to himself
Yeah,
and shining light on, like I said,
Yeah,
people that influenced him.
yeah,
That put him on a different level.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He did a lot for Toronto after that.
But okay, I'm gonna be straight up. I think some people deride too much off of that.
Yeah,
To
they
think
do.
that that's gonna help them.
They do.
And they're not doing nothing for themselves.
I think they do. I think, like I said, you gotta do you,
Yeah.
do your thing,
Do your thing.
but at the same time, show respect,
Yeah.
but don't live off of it.
Yeah. Facts.
Show your respect where respect is due, right?
Because from the beginning,
Yeah.
my brother knows, I've been giving Drake respect.
Right.
Long time. Right, Rock? But when we do the media, right? Now, this is the thing. And I know Drake is listening. He watches all the American media. But Toronto, so you still haven't given nobody no interview. You get what I mean? In the urban hip hop community.
Right.
So, respect to Drake. And he respects a lot of the artists.
Right.
And he respects the other media. But now he needs to respect the urban media. It could be whoever it is.
Right.
But that's the next step. Because people like you now, he realizes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why I told people a long time where Drake comes from. He comes from a city where there's real lyricists, real artists. So when people are making fun of thinking he's not whatever good hip hop artist, I could never deny that because you come from a city where there's MCs.
Yes. Yeah. He has content. I mean, look at that. Fuck with him.
Yeah.
You end your career. You can end your career in a battle.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
true. It's true.
You get nominated for a diss track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's facts.
Yeah.
So he comes from a city where there's spitters and people with bars. So you can never deny that.
Yeah. No doubt. He's talented, man.
He's talented.
He's talented.
Because we could keep going about Toronto MCs,
Yes.
a whole list.
But
But
you still got Tory Lanez.
Tory
He's
Lanez,
talented.
free Tory
You know what I'm
Lanez.
saying?
Yep. Free up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the top
Megan-
artists in the
Megan
world.
Lost my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to like Megan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't believe anything.
I don't believe anything either.
Just lock me down, Megan.
Just free
Just lock
Tory,
me
man.
down,
Free Tory, man.
Free up. I'm
But-
not gonna get into it.
Yeah, man. So, anything you want to tell the universe before we come off this spaceship? New projects you're coming with, or you might get into the movies probably too. I can
For
see
sure.
that coming.
Acting never done. You know what I'm saying? Working on a few things right now. I'm working on an album. So I mean, even producers, send me them fire. Send me that fire, no matter where you're from. We're gonna put the Instagram. Holla at me at infinite_LD. INFINITE_LD. I don't know if y'all gonna put
Overstand
it,
that,
you know what I'm saying?
Trust me,
I don't know if
overstand that.
But yeah.
Infinite,
What's up?
the legend. Yo, not a normal, not an average artist coming through the D2E, you know, down to earth podcast. You could, yo, bless up, you know, give them a shout
You know
out.
what it is, man.
Can you give us a drop for Down to Earth podcast before we go?
No doubt, man. Y'all watching Down to Earth podcast. This is Infinite. Stay locked. Stay tuned.
Bless up.
You know what it is.
Much respect for coming through.
Yeah, done.
Bless
No,
up,
man. Please
Respect.
subscribe to all the channels, man. And it's been a pleasure,
Down to earth.
and a privilege, and an
Infinite.
honor having Infinite in the studio of D2E. We are out. You
Bless
done
up.
know. Bless up. But before we go, I always have to say this. This is the Rastafari Samurai, never leaving you dry in your eye. I'll prove this message nationwide. We are out.